One of my favorite things in life is mowing. I know that might seem odd to some of you, but I find it so relaxing. Ever since I moved to the hill country, I have planted and rehabbed several areas of my land to grow grass. In this video, I'm going to show you my method that is proven year after year to work, even though I live on pure rock. The first step is to cover up the rock and level out the area, or slope it depending on where it is. Since I typically tackle huge areas at a time, I use my tractor to spread and work the dirt. But know that if you have a smaller area, a till does wonder for spreading dirt. For this step, I typically buy fill dirt from a local supplier who trucks it to me. Know that you can buy different grades of fill dirt. The cheapest stuff might have big chunks of things in it, like concrete or clay, but the most expensive stuff will be really filtered and refined. I always go for something in the middle, but if I were working on a small piece of land, then I'd buy the most expensive stuff that I could, because it is worlds easier to spread when you get something smooth. After the truck dumps their big pile off, I then dump little piles all over the area and then spread it out. Next, I make another order of dirt, but this time I buy a higher quality topsoil or nutrient-enriched soil. I aim to buy enough to get 2 to 3 inches layer on top of fill dirt. I repeat the process of spreading it, and this time really taking my time to play with the grade, because if you have a slump or a mound now, you'll have it once you actually have grass growing. Now that you have the base and the foundation, next is to plant the grass seed. Now, you might wonder why I go with seed over turf, and again, it comes down to cost for me. Since I'm doing such large areas, it's much cheaper to grow grass from seed. It just takes a little bit longer. Plus, as I've mentioned, I am a weirdo who loves yard work, so I don't mind the labor it takes. One note I want to mention here is you want to try to do this whole process as closely together as you can. Know that if you lay down dirt and it rains heavily, it's gonna wash it away and you have wasted your time and money. The way you get your dirt to stick in place is to have rooted grass keeping it there. So I'm very choosy about when I start this process. I always wait until I think we've had the last freezing cold day. Then I move through laying the dirt and seed step as quickly as I can. This particular grass seed I use will start showing blades in just 2 to 4 weeks. However, if you already have an area that has good dirt and you're just trying to grow grass, then you can skip the spreading stage and just till up the existing dirt. However, you don't want to try and plant grass seed on hard compacted ground. You want to make it as easy for those baby roots or the new grass as possible. Even when I'm doing a larger section, I till one small section at a time, starting with the till at the front of the section and pulling it back towards me as I walk backwards. I typically aim to cover my till blades up to the arbor, and this way I know I'm going deep enough. You can rent these, but since I do this so often, I have my own. By the way, when it comes to yard tools, battery powered doesn't mean wimpy. I hardly ever use gas equipment anymore. Once the soil is loose, it is time to plant the seed. They do make spreaders for this sowing part. However, the mix I go with has a mixture of 3 different native grass seeds, and the larger seeds get caught in the mixer while the smaller seeds go through like crazy. So instead, I open the bag and toss out a handful at a time as I go across the area. Next, I use a giant metal rake to go perpendicular to the rows I created and cover up the seeds so that the wind doesn't blow them away. And that's it. Now, the key to success is water. At this stage, you want the ground moist but not soggy. You don't want to wash away the dirt and seed, you just want to get it wet. I typically set timers for 10 minutes, but I keep a watch on the amount of water to see if that's the correct amount of time. The second the ground starts pooling and causing runoff, you need to shut the water off. So instead of watering one really big time, I like to water 2 or 3 small amounts per day. It's very important for the first 6 weeks to water at least twice a day. So to very clearly give my watering schedule, in the first 6 weeks I water 2 to 3 small amounts per day. Then for the next month I bump it down to once a day. Then after that I water every other day. Getting the roots established is the most time sensitive, where you really want to put in the time and care. However, after the first season of that care, I let Mother Nature take over. And last season, it was a hard summer of very little rain and high heat, and I was curious if my grass was going to grow back, but it did, just as beautiful as ever. While getting set up for this short-term heavy-duty grass watering, I also did my garden a favor and got set up for better watering there. These root quencher junior units deliver water and, if you want, fertilizer right to the roots, so water and nutrients won't just run off or evaporate away. So as you're getting your watering system set up, if you're including shrubs or trees or your garden, know that Root Quencher has a full line in order to make watering easy and deliver it directly to the roots instead of on the surface. When it comes to picking out the seed, I highly recommend you call somebody local, not a big box store, but like a local nursery as an example. If you're going to spend the time and money on this, you want to make sure you're getting something that's intended for your specific area and not a coverall answer like Bermuda, which takes a lot of water and isn't drought resistant. If you're in Texas, I recommend Austin's Wildflower Center. When I bought this place, it was rock everywhere the eye could see, and even though I still have areas to get to, I am beyond happy. I'm happy because my yard looks great, of course, but even better, I have more acreage to mow. Now, you would think that in my dry climate, grass is thin and easy to mow, but once this variety of grass is established, it gets really thick and coarse. My old mower couldn't leave a clean cut in some areas, especially when I was slowing down to go around a tree or post. That's one of the things that's great about my new mower. It has something called Smart Speed technology. When I'm slowing down for obstacles, the blade speed remains high so I don't get ragged spots. Either way, fast or slow, this is easily the most smooth, comfortable mower I've ever owned. I can spend hours on it without feeling rattled and battered. In fact, everything about this machine feels solid, top quality, and built to last. It also has thoughtful features I didn't even notice at first, such as large fenders and even a drink holder. Since you're interested in growing grass, let me show you my other technique for filling in low spots once you have established grass. I get a truckload of dirt about once a year and then use a wheelbarrow to take a load at a time to all the low spots to start filling in. I don't know if y'all have seen an electric wheelbarrow, but I highly recommend one. It is a game changer, folks. The battery and motor look so small, but I have carried 300 pounds uphill and it doesn't even strain. A thumb lever on the side propels it wherever I have a whim to go, and it even has reverse. Even better, I can go all day on just a single charge. Anyways, after locating the low spot, I use a shovel to spread dirt around and then the back of a hard rake to mostly level it out. If you only have a rake, then you can stop there. From there, I like to add in a little grass seed to give it a boost. And voila, beautiful grass to mow. If you've been looking to grow grass, and I hope that this video has helped you out, keep in mind, I've never personally dug into the science. I've never even tested the pH of my soil, so I'm not that big of a time spender on it. But this method has worked for me year after year in the hill country on solid rock, so it's just what I keep repeating. If you have a better method that is based in science, such as I know some people like to use sand instead of dirt, please leave a comment, but also be nice about it because we're all just learning here. If you have a big project like I do, don't get overwhelmed with thinking that you have to tackle it all in one go. I'm now working on this for 5 years, and it's just something that I steadily do every single year, and seeing the improvement is very rewarding. So take your time, enjoy it, and I'll see you on my next video.